Ask him if Putin has the photos of Trump blowing Bubba. And I thought I had Cirrus. You and your boy Donnie can make a remake of the movie Get Hard. How many people remember this right here? The weird Bill Clinton painting that Epstein had with a blue dress and red high heels. Keeping in mind that this
is a crazy painting, man. All right, we got a little bit more of a serious video today. Okay, if you haven't heard, 20,000 emails have been dropped from Epstein about what was going on back at the island and shit. And Donald Trump is involved in a lot of it. If you don't know, the streets are saying that Trump gave big old Bill Clinton some dome piece. Allegedly. Also, there's a lot of evidence that Trump could have allegedly been, fornicating with underage individuals at this island. So I found this video. I'm not gonna lie. For sure, I got this from Young Don. I'm not gonna lie. Shout out to him. I'm not gonna lie. No matter what political party you're a part of, this is information that is very valuable to know because this is our president. So it's kind of crazy. Let's go ahead and get to it, man.
This is an email from Jeffrey Epstein to Landon Thomas Jr., New York Times journalist, in 2015, after Landon Thomas said that everyone was coming to him thinking that he had juicy info on Epstein and Trump. Quote, read the BuzzFeed Read My Airplane Logs and Hawaiian Tropic Contest / have them ask my houseman about Donald almost walking through the door, leaving his nose print on the glass as young women were swimming in the pool, and he was so focused he walked straight into the door.
What the fuck?
Not the most salacious thing in the world, to be honest. Distracted by young...
Okay, no. Young women, though. Like, how old are they? That's the thing.
Women in a pool.
Because if they're younger than 18, was that excited to go see young women, underage women in a pool? That you literally hit your nose on the fucking glass, like on some cartoon shit? What are we talking about, man?
I figure we might as well start slow at the beginning. Number 20. Contained in the very same email thread about how people assumed there was juicy info, Epstein also says, quote, would you like photos of Donald and girls in bikinis in my kitchen? End quote.
Okay, so cornball shit.
Explicitly wrong with that per se, but certainly a step up in severity. That is, Epstein offering ambiguous or potentially compromising photos of Trump to a reporter. Number 19. This is where things get much more complicated. Donald Trump has long maintained that he split away from Jeffrey Epstein entirely in the early 2000s. There's been multiple contradicting reasons directly cited for that breakup, let's call it, but all of them occur between 2004 and 2007. At least, that's what we've been told. In an email thread from an unknown redacted sender as of 2017, a visitor was on their way to Epstein's house, notably the second floor of Epstein's house, which is where prominent victim Virginia Giuffre specifically indicated the massage tables were, and the bedrooms with cameras were documented in evidence photographs, aka the place where abuse occurred. This person went to meet him as part of an exchange where they ask for a door code while Epstein says that the house is more private for a meeting. And then suddenly, quote, I'm at the door, but I will wait for my time. I don't want to come early to find Trump in your house. End quote. And keep in mind, this is 2017, nearly a decade after the two had supposedly parted.
Whoa!
Number 18.
So they were still in contact in 2017? What the hell?
This is an exchange allegedly between Steve Bannon and Jeffrey Epstein. Reading, quote, from Epstein, Prince Andrew and Trump today. Too funny, Bannon.
What the hell? Okay, so Prince Andrew, I've heard about this too. I heard he was involved with Epstein. I'm pretty sure he's the prince that went to Epstein's house when Epstein was under trial. And, he was getting arrested and shit. I mean, he wanted to say his condolences to his friend before he got locked up. Prince of England, by the way, mind you. Royal family, part of that, mind you. It's crazy.
Accuser came from Mar-a-Lago. Further down, can't believe no one is making you the connective tissue, referring to Epstein. To which Epstein then replies, F and B only, end quote. Seemingly speaking in code, I guess. I'm not entirely sure what to make of that one, but I certainly thought it was interesting. Number 17. This is an exchange between Kathy Rumler, former White House counsel to Barack Obama, and Jeffrey Epstein in 2014. Quote from Epstein, you need to talk to boss, Rumler responds. Agreed, but I need to be prepared to say yes before I talk to him. Epstein again, understood. It comes down to high risk / reward, low risk / reward, professional, emotional, and financial. After which Rumler responds, most girls do not have to worry about this crap. And Epstein says, girls? Careful, I will renew an old habit. after which he lists off some of the world's most powerful businessmen and politicians, saying, "You are a welcome guest at any. Also, if you think there are interesting people in town, everyone here for Climate Summit, Clinton, Security Council. Holy shit, I'm on or next 30 minutes." End quote. One thing I should mention right now before going further, these emails are absolutely full of typos. Epstein and multiple of the people that he regularly corresponded with had precisely zero regard for proper grammar. So if it sounds like near gibberish at times, that's just what the emails look like. Anyway.
I mean, that's how like a lot of people do it, though. I ain't gonna lie. A lot of people just illiterate.
I might renew an old habit in reference to girls is certainly a little bit suspect when it comes to the most prolific abuser in human history. Number 16.
Just talking about it like it's like a cat. Like, yo, he's talking about, like, you feel me, doing that with allegedly assaulting little girls like it's this bad smoking habit, gang. What the fuck? These people are so desensitized.
Another exchange between Rumler and Epstein on a thread titled "Donald Trump's High Crimes and Misdemeanors." Rumler says, quote, "It makes no difference whether it was his money. Issue is failure to disclose. Plus, fact that he has lied his ass off about it makes clear that he knew it was illegal." To which Epstein responds, "You see, I know how dirty Donald is.
Oh, shit.
My guess is that non-lawyers, New York biz people, have no idea what it means to have your fixer flip." End quote.
It's so crazy how everybody in the industry just speaks of Trump as this dirty individual, bro. And he's still people was like, yo, okay, let's make a president. Like, no, like, what? I ain't gonna lie, and I'm not even trying to get too deep in politics, man. You fuck with Trump, you fuck with Trump. It's cool, it's whatever. A lot of people aren't educated on like how dirty he is. But every single thing I hear about Trump, once you like really look into the shit, it's like, yo, what the fuck was he doing? Gang.
The particular thread is probably about the criminal cases that Trump faced in New York, presumably. But the idea of Jeffrey Epstein saying, "I know how dirty Donald is," should make even the most devout supporters raise
Yo,
up.
Epstein saying that another nigga's dirty. Epstein literally trafficked kids to his island, gang. And he still thinks Trump is the dirty individual? You know how bad that nigga gotta be for Epstein to think that shit? That's crazy.
Eyebrow. Just to hammer that point home, number 15 is an exchange between Larry Summers and Jeffrey Epstein in which Epstein says, quote, "Recall I've told you I have met some very bad people. None as bad as Trump.
Oh my gosh.
One decent cell in his body. So yes, dangerous." End quote.
That's very alarming, gang. That is very alarming. Again, Epstein is saying this shit.
Ideally, at this point, the gravity of the situation is beginning to present itself, but we are
that shit weird, gang.
Only just beginning to scratch the surface of how bad this is getting. Number 14.
We're on 14.
This is another chain between Epstein and a redacted correspondent, which says, quote, "It will all blow over. They're really just trying to take down Trump and doing whatever they can to do that." To which Epstein replies, "It's wild, because I am the one able to take him down."
Nigga said that like he's a fucking supervillain on some shit, man. And like he's the Joker or some shit. I'm the only one who's gonna be able to take him down. Like they finna go into a duel battle, man. Shit. Apparently they were sword fighting on the island though. Shit.
Let me pose a question
Maybe
here.
you might.
Why is it that Epstein, at the end of 2018, shortly before he was arrested the second time and then died under suspect circumstances, why is it that he's explicitly saying, "I'm the one able to take him down," about the sitting president of the goddamn country? Just food for thought. Now for an even crazier one. Number 13. How many people remember this right here? The weird Bill Clinton painting that Epstein had with a blue dress and red high heels? Anyone? Okay, well, keeping in mind that this
is a crazy painting, man. Oh my gosh. Yo, I've never seen this shit before.
Painting was owned by Epstein and hanging in his Manhattan home. Let's take a look at this particular email thread between Jeffrey Epstein and Mark Epstein, his brother, in 2018, which says, quote, "How are you doing? All good, Bannon with me. Ask him if Putin has the photos of Trump blowing Bubba. And I thought I had Cirrus. You and your boy Donnie can make a remake of the movie Get Hard. You mean Donnie T." End quote.
Oh my God. These niggas was trolling about this shit, gang. Oh God. They was trolling about this shit.
For the sake of clarity right now, just in case anybody didn't pick up on this, He doesn't say if Putin has photos. He says if Putin has the photos, implying their definitive existence.
That's
Bubba,
crazy.
by the way, is one of Bill Clinton's nicknames. I have absolutely no idea what these emails actually mean.
Okay, but why the fuck, if you're Trump, why the fuck would you let somebody take photos of you blowing another president, my nigga? That shit's crazy. What the hell? I'm not gonna lie. I'm pretty sure this was the big email that blew up, right? If it's not this, it's something similar to that shit. I ain't gonna lie. It's so crazy to wrap my brain around that Donald Trump, MAGA, the face of the Republican Party at this point, could be down low. Not even could at this point, bro. It feels like he's down low, gang. Like, I'm gonna be honest. That's insane, gang. Like I said, I'm not into politics. I don't really give a fuck about that shit. But even just to think the president of our country was giving a former president dome, it's just crazy. Also, think about this shit, man. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Bill Clinton being gay doesn't surprise me at all. That nigga just a freaky ass frog. We seen this shit with Monica Lewinsky. He was a frequent traveler to Epstein's Island, bro. He's a freaky ass frog. I'm not surprised. But for some reason, Trump being gay and Trump doing the blowing, that shit blowing my mind. I can't wrap my head around that, gang. I just can't. Just imagine that nigga getting on his knees, just giving strained dome piece, slapping that shit on both cheeks, over there, slapping it on his tongue, getting cream all over his face, swallowing the nut. I just can't, gang. I can't. I just can't, bro. That's crazy to think about, gang. Also, does that mean that back when Trump and Hillary, why can I not pronounce her name? Hillary, right? Trump and Hillary were running against each other, bro. Does that mean Bill Clinton's wife was low-key running against his side piece, bro? That shit's a crazy thought to think about, man. That nigga has skin in the game on both sides, bro. That shit crazy to think about, gang. I'm not gonna lie, bro.
But I can certainly see why the Trump administration is so very desperate to stop the release of the Epstein files.
At first I thought it was just because he was a pedo. I mean, I feel like we all kind of have a feeling that might be true at this point, but finding out that he's gay, that just ruined his image, man. I ain't gonna lie. It's crazy that to certain people, a man being gay is worse than him being a pedophile. They'll defend him being a pedophile, but being gay is where you draw the line. But that's just how some people just work.
Nightmare for them. Number 12, a simple email from Michael Wolff, quote, "There's an opportunity to come forward this week and talk about Trump in such a way that could garner you great sympathy and help finish him. Interested?" End quote. Number 11. This one is with Linda Stone in September of 2015 and says, quote, "Wondering if the fact that so many people are on antidepressant, ADHD, and other drugs is what makes Trump appealing and his flaws invisible. Will you have a cabinet position?" She's asking Jeffrey Epstein if he'll have a fucking cabinet position.
What does Jeffrey have on Trump that's so bad that he has so much power on him? Like, I feel like we all kind of have a gist of what it is, but like, what is it specifically, bro? Because it had to be crazy. The way Epstein, the way Jeff Epstein was talking about Trump, gang, the way he was talking about how much power he has over Trump, whatever he has to be insane. It literally does, bro.
With Trump in 2015. After which she also says,
"Do you think talking about Trump like he's his daddy?
Please, what do you think?" To which he replies, "Too far to tell. We will know much more come October 15th. But then, after she asks, "You still in Paris?" Epstein says, "Trump Tower." Keep in mind, we have been repeatedly told to believe that the two separated completely sometime in the early 2000s. But if that's true, why would Epstein's close friend be asking him whether or not he'll have a cabinet position while he stays at Trump Tower?
That's
Number 10,
crazy.
This exchange is between a Qatari businessman, I believe, named Jabor Y, and Epstein, where he says, quote, "In Paris today, headed for New York. Trump gives many new things to do," end quote. Once again, casting a very long, very deep shadow over the idea that these two men parted ways a decade earlier and never spoke again. There's a lot of corroboration that tale, that story, that talking point that they've been giving for like 20 years is not true. Number 9. Once again, Epstein and this Jabor Y person, quote, "Sorry, I just checked your email. What time you will leave to the airport? I hope you are in a better place now than New York. Sorry, yes, Palm Beach, all Trump people here."
So yeah, he was for sure still cooling with Trump in 2016 during his presidency, bro. So all of that shit was a lie. Damn.
End quote. Again, 2016, all Trump people.
This
in
shit
Palm
crazy,
Beach,
bro.
But somehow the president knows nothing about him and never spoke to him since 2004. None of it adds up. Number 8. This is between Epstein and Tom Barrack or Tom Barack, however you say that. Closely connected fundraiser and senior advisor to Trump's campaign. Just keep that in mind. This thread is from 2016. Quote, "Hope you are well. Photos look good. FYI, I receive many calls a week about both Donald, beauty contest, Mar-a-Lago, etc., and Clinton from reporters. Less so recently with Clinton, but my answers are always, I have nothing to say, or I try to ignore altogether. A few times I've been ambushed on the street with questions, but I am more careful now." Followed by, "Send photos of you and child. Make me smile."
What the fuck, huh? Yo, what do you mean by that?
Sure, that could be innocent. Send a few wholesome family photographs.
But with these people, man, I can't. Nah, bro. Nah, with these type of people we dealing with, man, nothing innocent with them, bro.
A, this is Jeffrey Epstein that we're talking about right now. And B, this is communication about Epstein refusing to answer incriminating questions between him and Trump's own senior advisor in 2016.
Jeez.
7, good old Landon Thomas comes back around here with an email exchange that appears to be warning Epstein, reading, quote, "He is digging around again. Not clear if it's another book or expanded paperback version. Was asking me all sorts of questions about why you hired Ken Starr. I told him I had no idea. I think he is doing some Trump-related digging too. Anyway, for what it's worth." End quote. Why on earth is a New York Times journalist warning Jeffrey Epstein and giving him a heads up that someone is looking into him and Trump? Why is that happening? And why is that happening at that time during that year? Number 6, Landon Thomas to Jeffrey Epstein, quote, "He is scaring the shit out of me now. He could well tank the global economy.
Whoa.
Can Barack talk sense to him anymore? Maybe it's time for you to jump in now. Given how he is throwing caution to the wind in such epic fashion, why wouldn't he take your call? Give it a shot." To which Epstein replies, "He feels alone and is nuts. I told everyone from day one, evil beyond belief mad, and most thought I was speaking metaphorically. It's obvious he could crack. Stormy Daniels, lies after lies after lies." End quote. The world's most notorious sex trafficker, okay, directly referring to the sitting president as evil beyond belief.
I just can't, bro, what? That's what keeps on blowing my mind about these documents, bro. Epstein talking about Trump like he's fucking Baphomet, my nigga. Like, do y'all not peep that shit? That's like King Von talking about Lil Durk like he's fucking devil. Y'all both demons. How much worse can he be, bro? Like, dead ass. How much worse can he be? That's crazy.
Number 5, inexplicably, apparently emailed to himself from another account he controlled, Epstein sends a very long list of names. Rothschild, Rumler, Churkin, Schumer.
Oh, hell no. No. Off that first name, bro. Yo, this shit dark off that first name. Y'all know anything about the Rothschilds, gang?
Some names we know, some names we don't, across a wide range of political affiliations and business sectors. But that email is titled List for Bannon Steve, and it was sent in June of 2019. 1 month later, Epstein faced his second arrest. I don't know what that list is for. I don't know all the people that are on it, right? I don't recognize all of these names. But I can tell you that this is a tiny little fraction of the files that are being withheld from the public, and that the level of discrepancy between what we now see in black and white correspondence versus what the current administration has been incessantly claiming is unignorable.
They could be clients, gang. I'm not gonna lie. That could be what it could be for. I don't know. Allegedly, I don't know. I don't know shit. I'm a dumbass. Yo, Twitch, YouTube, you see any of this, bro? I'm just watching this shit, gang. Hey, man, why would it be that long of a list of names with those important people and so secretive and so blocked off? What could they be hiding, gang?
They are not telling the truth. Number 4, Now for some of the most damning things, okay?
Oh.
In a 2018 email thread between Epstein and Thorbjorn Jagland, we can see, quote, "I think you might suggest to Putin that Lavrov can get insight on talking to me. Vitaly Churkin used to, but he died."
Whoa.
After which Epstein continues later, "Churkin was great. He understood Trump after our conversations. It's not complex. He must be seen to get something. It's that simple." End quote. Let's get something straight right now, okay? This is email evidence in 2018 of Jeffrey Epstein, who has repeatedly claimed explicitly to hold compromising information about sitting President Donald Trump, talking to the former Norwegian Prime Minister, and saying that he coached Russia on how to handle Donald Trump. I don't care who you are or what politics or loyalty or affiliations you have. That's a fucking problem. Number
That's
3,
interesting, bro.
These last 3 are some of the most common. They're the ones that mainstream media have been fixating on, I guess, the most. But there's a very good reason for that. From Epstein to Ghislaine Maxwell, quote, "I want you to realize that the dog that hasn't barked is Trump. Virginia spent hours at my house with him. He has never once been mentioned, police chief, etc. I'm 75% there." To which Maxwell replies, "I've been thinking about that." End quote. Number 2, email to Michael Wolff, quote, "Blank," Virginia Giuffre, we know that because of context now, "Blank worked at Mar-a-Lago. She was the one that accused Prince Andrew. Trump said he asked me to resign. Never a member ever. Of course he knew about the girls, as he asked Ghislaine to stop."
Oh, hell
End
no.
quote.
Hell no, bro. Hell no. Hell no, gang. What do you mean by girls, bro?
And lastly, number 1, the big cheese, from Michael Wolff to Jeffrey Epstein at the end of 2015, quote, "I hear CNN planning to ask Trump tonight about his relationship with you, either on air or in scrum afterwards." Epstein replies, "If we were able to craft an answer for him, what do you think it should be?" Why the fuck would they be able to craft an answer for him is the real question. And then finally, quote, "I think you should let him hang himself if he says he hasn't been on the plane or to the house, then that gives you a valuable PR and political currency. You can hang him in a way that potentially generates a positive benefit for you. Or if it really looks like he could win, you could save him, generating a debt." Of course, it is possible that when asked, he'll say Jeffrey is a great guy and he's gotten a raw deal and is a victim of political correctness, which is to be outlawed in a Trump regime. End quote.
If Trump... Nah, hold on, bro.
Those 21 emails, okay, I'll just let people kind of mull over and unpack.
That last one, okay. Were they trying... Okay, that was 2015. That was before the election. They was talking about Trump potentially winning the election, right? But from the context I'm getting, the media was finna ask Trump what was his relation to Jeffrey Epstein. And they was trying to figure out what he wanted to say, or what Trump was going to say. If Trump said... I don't know what he said. But if he said that he thought Epstein was a great guy... They cooked his PR. I don't know what he said. That shit would have fried him, gang.
Those 21 emails, okay, I'll just let people...
But it's clearly obvious that Trump and Epstein knew each other. They were friends. Even past that 2000 date that they said that apparently they broke up. They was obviously cool beyond that point. If Epstein was in Trump's tower, Epstein had potential to be a part of his cabin, they was cool. If Epstein has a lot of dirt on him, they was buddies. They was bros. They might have been butt buddies for all we know, gang. That's just crazy, man. I'm not gonna lie.
And to mull over and unpack those for themselves. Those 21 emails, although in proper context, I am absolutely positive that there's more, let alone the rest of the files that are being suppressed and withheld, but by this overtly corrupt administration. Those 21 email threads, let's call them, are the notable standouts of the latest Epstein document release that I saw. And if you go back across the saga thus far, these emails make it abundantly clear, overwhelmingly clear, that pretty much everyone involved has been lying through their teeth the entire time, and that the truth is absolutely horrific for Donald Trump. Like I said before, this is a developing story across many months that I'll talk about to the bitter.
That truth has to be horrible. Again, I've said this like 5 times this video. The fact that Epstein, the devil himself, speaks about Trump like he's a different level demon is concerning. And the way he's holding this information he has over Trump's head, like it would absolutely ruin his career. That shit damning, bro. That shit is crazy. I'm gonna be honest. That is scary to think that like whatever that evil of a person is running the like. I'm just being honest. I ain't gonna lie. That shit's insane to think about. I know other presidents in the past were evil too, and I know the whole political climate, just America is corrupt. So it's very scary to think that the people who are running our country are like could potentially just be horrible people. But it's insane how much shit is coming out, gang. Jeez, bro. I ain't gonna lie. What do y'all think about this, gang? I know, like, y'all, a lot of y'all have y'all very biased opinions about certain things. And I don't typically do videos like this, but I just had to react to this shit. This is insane, gang. I don't know. It's insane who we just allow to have run our country, bro. We don't really know anything about them. It's insane how much we just don't know. Damn, I ain't gonna hold you. If Trump was bad, I can't imagine how bad some of the presidents were, you know, who actually got impeached, or even Joe Biden. I mean, I heard some shit about. It wasn't to this level. I don't know if Joe was on Epstein Island or not, but you never know with these presidents, man. I ain't gonna lie. Besides that, we out. Sky Crusade Fly. Let me know what y'all think about this in the comments.